Fidelity tracks 401k millionaires. This is a number that they track all the time. Now, just based on the numbers, and I think they break down salary. The average salary of the average 401k millionaire is not what you would think, right? There's several of those people in those households and that number that are well below $100,000. And you're saying, how did they become a millionaire? Well, because they did the same thing over again, consistently over time without fail.
So did those people work with an advisor, or are they just putting more money in their 401k, or what does that look
A
like?
lot of those people didn't work on their money, but they knew they didn't. They could still use an advisor, but they knew somewhere along the line they got somewhere, and someone had told them, put the money in your retirement plan and just don't touch it. Just get away, right? But do it consistently, and no matter what, think about it. Because a lot of times people do things like take money out of their retirement, pay for their kids' college. No, I mean you could do that, and that's fine as an advisor, I would say. But doing that is doing what? It's co-mingling college saving with retirement savings. Those are two separate things.
And that's
You
where
should have
you
a
promote
college
529.
529s or UTMA or any other account for your kid versus your retirement plan. Your retirement plan is your retirement plan. It is not a slash let me reconstruct my house plan slash let me pay for my kids' college. Oh, let me pay for private school plan. Like, no, it's not those things. If you want to grow it, you got to be very, very stubborn and monotonous about your saving exclusively for your retirement.
What about those people who have single incomes that might be making, let's say, under six figures, and they're paying rent, they're not paying a mortgage, right? The rent is probably close to $2,000 a month because the economy is crazy and rent is high. People like that.
Start again. I say the same thing. Start with what you can afford, consistently and over time, and it'll still work out. Because if those are the people and they're young enough, they have enough time. Time is our friend. Compounding, you know this. I've talked about this over and over. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. That is our friend. So do something consistent over time. And now you may need to do it more time if you have less money. But if you do it, you will get there.
So the younger the better. So we'll say single young mothers, older young mothers probably too, but they don't have as much time as the single young mothers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or fathers. I don't want to just say women. Just say.
Or fathers. Yeah. And we have again, another segment because we're approaching an hour and a half now. But
right.
Another, you knew I was going to be a talker. So, hey, I'm putting this on edge, everybody.
But it's part of the story. We want to hear the story.
My young fathers and my men in general, much more of a challenge. And I don't know what that's all about. I would say lose the ego if it's about that. I'll equate it like this, and I'll close on this note. I talk about a lot of analogies. But let's just take the mechanic analogy, right? Are you trying to fix your own car? Are you trying to rebuild your alternator, put timing belts, or when we had all that stuff? No, you were not. I was thinking about when I was doing that, and we had belts and all this stuff. You were not doing that. You were taking it to a person who was skilled, prepared, trained to do that. When you get sick and you think, oh man, I might have my appendix taken out, were you cutting yourself open and trying to take your own appendix out? You were going to a person who was trained and skilled to do that. When you were thinking about even something as simple, right? You may be thinking about, oh, okay, I want to get my hair done, but I don't want to do it myself. I'm going to a wedding. You probably go to a trained, skilled person to do your hair for the wedding. But when it comes to skilled professional advisors, that's what I do for a living. I'm no different from any other those other professions. Podiatrist, a lawyer, if I have a legal man, that is what I do. Now, it's possible that you could do it decent or as good, right? Last time I checked, that's like saying I can heal myself as good, as decent as a doctor. It is no different. And people need to wrap their head around that one, is that I do it 12 hours a day. You're trying to do it in 30 minutes to an hour a day. Let's see which one you think is going to result in a better result.
What do you say?
And that's why.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said that's why I think that for me, that's a big hurdle. I think young men and men in general, they can't get caught up in I could do it myself type of thing.
Yeah.
You don't have the access to the tools. You don't have access to the same research. You don't have access to the conversations. You don't have maybe even the historical experience. I just don't think practically it's possible.
Yeah, that's good.
90% of people who invest on their own lose money.